Hello everyone, my name is Talon Dillard and welcome to another guide. Oh, hold on a second, what's that sound? Oh yeah, that's just my subscribers complaining that I haven't made a shaman guide when I promised to like 9 months ago. Yeah, that's really annoying, isn't it? Well, guess what boys, you're gonna have to wait a little longer because this guide is all about Nuxia.
She try and pull vert on my half pipe, Tony thought money flows in my bank account, man, it don't stop. Tryna jug a piss, got stopped, screw a shit cop.
Yo, officer, I'm sorry, I'll stop.
Sipping on the haterade, sipping on the haterade. I'm trying to get the money so I can make it precipitate. Scribing all these bars by my
Nuxia is the female character out of all the new Wulin heroes, the brand new gang that came over to For Honor with 400 MS lights and a passion for killing. With her fast attacks and traps, she brought a lot of new mechanics to the game that people haven't really dealt with before. And here I am to explain 1, how to counter it, and 2, how to use it very effectively. So let's get started. Starting off with Nuxia's basic moveset. Nuxia has every 3-hit chain in the game, that including a light, a light, heavy, a light, heavy, a heavy, and so forth. You can mix it up with lights in the middle and heavies to finish, or heavies in the middle and lights to finish, all of which are equally effective. But what everybody is complaining about is the traps. Every heavy attack that Nuxia has, including her zone attack, can be feinted by pressing square, and that leads into something called a trap. These traps do 30 damage and are devastating against the defensive player. However, there are methods of avoiding this. People still like to complain that they're overpowered, and I can understand where they're coming from, but I don't agree with their method of getting around it. There are many different ways to avoid the traps. 1 is dodging, 2 is lighting if you don't have a priority light, 3 is going for a very early parry on something that you would assume is a light attack, in other words guessing, and 4 is to literally emote. Emoting dodges traps, guard breaking avoids traps. There are very many options, and considering that it is a soft feint, such as something that Shaman has, it is reactable. Nuxia also has a dashing light attack from the left, from the right, and from the top. This can be used to avoid attacks and create your own mix-up sometimes. Not only can it be accessed from dashing forward, however, it can be activated and used by unlock sprinting. Simply by pressing R1, you can launch yourself at the opponent from a pretty far distance. And a little side note is that it can be used unlocked and then start a new chain with the capability of switching guard, feinting, and soft feinting. So if you want to confuse your opponent slightly with a pretty useless mix-up, unlock, run away, do a dashing light into the air, and then just start your combo. It's not effective, but it is nice to know. Nuxia is very unique, as there is only one other character that can chain their zone into their attack combos, that being Raider with his enhanced zone. However, her zone is slightly different from Raider's, as it isn't an unblockable, but rather it's a mix-up tool. It can force reactions out of opponent and put them in a very peculiar situation that they might not have dealt with before. With that in mind, allow me to introduce you to probably my favorite playstyle in For Honor. This is one that I have developed from playing Shaman for months on end and have absolutely fallen in love with. I call this Sway. Sway is a technique that allows you to have complete freedom with your mix-ups and have a lot of fun in the process. By feinting multiple heavies and utilizing your soft feint, such as Shaman has with the bleed light on her first heavy and the heavy soft feint into guard break, you can create mix-ups out of thin air just by flailing your arms like an idiot, and it looks amazing. As you can see in this example I'm using right now, I'm using the Sway technique on both characters, and it works out about the same. The only difference is Shaman has the ability to soft feint into a bleed light, whereas Nuxia has the ability to soft feint into her trap. This adds an entire new element to the mix-up game in and of itself, and I have absolutely loved using the character because I let this transition over into Nuxia from Shaman. So in that sense, if you are a fan of Shaman, I highly recommend using Nuxia. She might be right up your alley. The final thing we'll touch up on in her basic stuff is just her deflect. Her deflect is 40 damage, but it is blockable.
I'll feed you to the wolves.
The difference between it and a normal deflect though is that you can change the direction that your deflect comes from. So if you parry, make sure to change the direction of the deflect. If you do not, it is very likely that you will be blocked. It's not really possible to parry it, but it is very disappointing whenever you get your deflect and it's blocked. And that'll do it for just about everything you would need to know to survive with Nuxia. Now we'll get into a couple of extra things that you might like to know. No matter what direction it's thrown from, Nuxia's finisher heavy has the ability to throw the opponent and wall splat them, guaranteeing an extra heavy. Whereas that's very common knowledge, did you know that her heavy also guarantees a light off wall splat? Whether thrown from a heavy or from a normal normal guard break, you get an extra, very diminished damage light attack to follow up. However, do not delay this as it will not be confirmed unless you buffer it. In the instance that someone avoids your trap, keep in mind that you can buffer a light attack afterwards and avoid being guard broken or punished. Not only can you throw out a light, but you can also throw out a heavy as well. This offers a lot of mix-up potential, but mostly if you're on PC. We all know that 400 ms lights are completely unreactable on console, right? And the very last thing I'll mention in the guide is her out of stamina punishes. Nuxia has a very strange out of stamina punish that's reminiscent of Centurions. What you have to do in order to get her max punish is throw the opponent when they're out of stamina with a light, go into a heavy, and then guarantee the final light. This does slightly more damage than the typical heavy light that you would expect to land because the second heavy in the chain does a couple of extra points of damage than the first. And the light doesn't whiff if you do it next to a wall, so you net yourself an extra 13 damage just by positioning yourself well. That's gonna do it for this guide. Thank you so much for watching and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy, please be sure to poke the like button in the face and subscribe to the channel if you're new. My name is Talon Dillard and as always, stay sharp.